Welcome to the Archbishop Mitty High School Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of the many sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. The presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website where you registered. And now I'd like to hand over to our first presenter, the University of San Diego. Alexandra, do you want to unmute yourself?
Thank you. Sorry. So my name is Alex Goldman. I work with the San Jose area for the University of San Diego. So we'll go ahead and jump right in. To really understand USD, we have to jump back to the beginning. We were founded in 1949 by the Sisters of the Sacred Heart and the Diocese of San Diego. Given this unique founding between the two organizations, we are not governed by any religious orders such as the Franciscans or the Jesuits, but instead we are guided by our Catholic intellectual tradition and Catholic social teaching. We believe that faith and reason coexist in the classroom setting, allowing our students to really educate the whole self, and that every member of our community is valuable and important, and with that, it is our duty to serve those who are most vulnerable. You'll notice at the bottom of the screen a quote from Mother Rosalie Clifton Hill. She is one of our co-founders. She believed that beauty, truth, and goodness are essential to higher education. If we have a beautiful place, students from all over will come to study. They'll find the goodness in the community and they'll be inspired to seek the truth. So that beauty, truth, and goodness is certainly visible here on campus. We are consistently ranked in the top 10 most beautiful campuses in the nation. We have just under 6,000 undergraduate students. We are a medium-sized institution. About half of our students come from beyond California. About 9% international students, 38% of our students identify as students of color, and lastly, about 40% of our students identify as Catholic. So this is probably one of the most popular questions. Do I have to be Catholic to attend USD? The answer is absolutely not. We want that diversity of faith, diversity of background, cultural upbringing, allowing our students really to learn from one another, and that certainly translates to the classroom experience. We are rooted in the liberal arts tradition, meaning we believe it's important to have a well-rounded foundation for students to then take their deep dive into their major of study. None of our programs are impacted, none of our courses, so students can easily move between interests and majors of study and study across schools here at USD. We have small class sizes. This is something we pride ourselves on. We believe it's really important that students have the opportunity to be active participants in their education and build those long-lasting relationships with peers and professors. So we have average class size about 22 students and a 13:1 student to faculty ratio. Outside of the classroom, we have a vibrant Torero life. You'll see Diego Torero in the center of the screen. He is our mascot. So there's plenty to do on campus, including many clubs and organizations ranging from cultural, social, philanthropic, academic, professional honors, really allowing students to explore their interests outside the classroom. We are also Division I in our athletics with 17 varsity sports. So if you're an athlete looking to continue that career, be sure to connect with coaches, see what they're looking for. Also, club and intramural sports, one of my favorite, I think it's very Southern California, is inner tube water polo. So if you want to get out, enjoy the sun, float around the inner tube, play a little water polo, that might be the perfect fit for you. We are about 10 minutes from the beach, about 12 minutes to the airport, so easy to get home for breaks, and about 25 minutes to the US-Mexico border. With that, we believe it's really important that students have the opportunity to build their global appreciation and global perspective. University Ministry takes trips across the border to Tijuana to work with the communities there. And with that, that is one of the many reasons why we are named an Ashoka Changemaker campus. Our students are passionate about changing the world and being that change in the world. Another great way to build that global perspective is through study abroad. We are ranked 5th in the nation for participation, with 80% of our students studying abroad at least once in their time at USD. If you get the travel bug and would like to go more than once, we certainly encourage that as well. And we are one of 45 institutions in the world with this honor. So with that, we'll jump into apps and stats. So we have one application deadline, and it's December 15th. We have no early action, early decision, just the one December 15th deadline. This is a look at last year's application cycle. We had over 13,000 applications, a 57 admittance rate, and an incoming class of 1,013 students. We did have a number of students who decided to join us in the spring through a deferral process. Typically, we shoot for an incoming class of about 1150. With that said, we don't foresee any impacts trickling down to the incoming class of fall 21, so no need to worry there. What we look for in the application process, we're going to request the application itself, the member questions, and the essay as well. Transcripts, letters of recommendation, we require 1, but we can accept up to 3. We do have English proficiency minimums for international applicants and an application fee of $55. You'll notice there is no test score listed here. We are test blind for this application cycle. We'll reevaluate at the end of the year to make a decision for future application cycles, but this year we are moving forward with a test blind admission process. So please don't worry about sending scores. We will not consider them in admission or scholarship consideration. So if we don't have test scores, how do we review? Well, we are going to look at academic achievement, the courses you've taken, how you performed, the rigor of those courses, the opportunities available at your high school, really digging deep into the context of your academic environment and experience. The middle 50% of our admitted pool had a 3.8 to a 4.2 weighted GPA. And then of course it breaks down a bit more on the screen. We also look at what you do outside of the classroom, so those change maker qualities. I mentioned students are passionate about changing the world and being that change. So that's certainly something we look for in the application process as well. That can come in the form of leadership, global perspective, social injustice, role of faith, and community engagement. And then lastly, personal qualities. Who are you as an individual and as a person? So that shines through in your letters of recommendation and your essay. And with all of that said, I think I'm running up on my time. So these are ways to connect with us. Definitely follow us on social media. The QR code on the screen will take you to our Virtually Connect page where you can do a virtual tour and connect with counselors. So thank you so much for your time. And that's it.
Great, thank you so much. And our next presenter is Northeastern University.
Dang Zoom. One more time, again, my name is Katie Congdon. I'm one of the assistant directors of undergraduate admissions here at Northeastern University. I know I don't have long to chat here, so I'm just gonna jump right in. Now, Northeastern University is a large private research university located in the heart of downtown Boston. We have a very student-centered approach to learning, which allows each student to truly chart their own academic paths. We currently offer over 250 majors, which is insane, and also includes both single and combined options within our 8 colleges and programs. And our core curriculum, or NU path, allows students to choose courses based on the competencies surrounding the knowledge they'll receive by taking each one of their courses. And so this allows for a lot of flexibility and really the natural ability to take courses across all disciplines. Now, at the center of everything Northeastern, you'll find our robust experiential learning opportunities, including our world-famous co-op program. If you aren't familiar, co-op is generally a 6-month-long, full-time work experience. This is not an internship program. While an internship gives an initial taste of a job, a fully immersive co-op experience allows students to truly take on that responsibility and make a real impact at a company or organization. And the integrated nature of co-op really enhances both the academic growth and the professional skill development. And while we currently work with over 3,400 co-op employers, these are all over the world. They're not just in Boston. They're not just around the United States. Again, they are truly all over the world and on all 7 continents. Our employer partners include anything from Fortune 100 companies, global governmental organizations, nonprofits, startups, and a whole lot more. Students can complete up to 3 co-op experiences, and at 6 months in duration, they have the opportunity to gain up to 18 months of full-time work experience before they even graduate college. Co-op is an integral part of Northeastern's unique experiential learning model, alongside opportunities, as you can see up on the screen now, for research, global studies, and community service. And regardless of which options students choose to partake in throughout the experiential learning opportunities, students will apply what they learn in the classroom to the real world, kind of creating that continuous learning cycle. So students can step outside of the classroom and into the real world, ready to chart their own paths. And I guarantee you that is the power of a Northeastern education. And I guess I'm a little biased here, but I truly believe that Boston is the best college town. We have the highest concentration of young people in the country. And there's such a high population of young people that, believe it or not, every September, the average age in Boston drops 9 years overall, because there's so many young adults moving to the city. And the city is largely driven by the needs and the interests of students. In every corner of Boston, you're going to find it filled with both history and culture. And the city, I think, is both very traditional and also extremely modern and cutting edge. A top-tier education is an investment, and also one of the most important and rewarding decisions you and your family are ever going to make. But no pressure. Here at Northeastern, we work to keep the cost affordable while also offering the highest possible educational value. And very briefly, I wanted to mention the Northeastern Promise, which you see up on the screen. This is at the forefront of everything we do, and that's that we promise to meet your family's entire demonstrated need, especially in light of COVID and the financial stress that families are facing right now. It's important to know that we remain dedicated to helping all obtain that valuable Northeastern education. Our application process is going to fall into 4 different categories. It's going to be early decision 1, early decision 2, early action, and regular decision, just to make sure it's not confusing for everybody. There's a few different options there. I want to share a quick plug now for one of our newest test optional policies this year and really drive home the promise of this policy. Regardless of a student's decision to submit test scores, all students are going to be reviewed for admission to Northeastern, admission to our honors program, and for all merit-based scholarships. And so a student's choice of not submitting test scores is not going to disadvantage them in any way, shape, or form. Please keep an eye on our website for more upcoming dates and deadlines if you need further clarification on policies, or if you're a junior, sophomore, freshman, or really maybe enthusiastic middle schooler joining us today. Now, when you combine our academics, experiential learning opportunities, and our location, you'll start to see how a Northeastern education really gives students a head start in the world. And when they graduate, they already have resumes that are full of experiences, which is one of really the many reasons why employers seek out our graduates. I know I've flown through these slides, but I hope that this helped to shed a little more light on Northeastern, and I will be housed in the Q&A chat for the rest of the night, so feel free to throw me any questions you may have, and happy to help answer them. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much. Our next presenter is Portland State University.
Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Dave Kobzina, and I am the Assistant Director for Transfer Recruitment at Portland State University. I do work with students from San Jose across Northern California as well. I am originally from Walnut Creek, so I know the entire Bay Area very, very well. At Portland State University, we have around 26,000 students altogether. That includes 21,000 undergraduates. So we are one of the larger universities here in the state of Oregon. You will see that we have a very diverse campus and a very diverse city. Nearly half of our students identify as coming from a racially or ethnically diverse background. Nearly 40% of our students identify as being first generation. We are also diverse when we speak about our students' social, political, religious, cultural, economic backgrounds. Really everything that you as an individual brings to the table makes us a much more diverse campus as a collective whole. Picture on the screen here, this is of our park blocks. This is truly the main hub of campus. We are situated in downtown Portland, but we have a university district. So it doesn't feel, it's not a bunch of buildings here, there, and everywhere in between. When you're on campus, you can definitely tell. At the same time, we don't have any set boundaries because we still like to use the city of Portland as our classroom in many ways. We do have housing on campus. There are 10 residence halls. It is guaranteed for incoming students, even though it is not required. All first-year students have their own bathroom. There, of course, is a cafeteria. There's a 24-hour computer lab and a couple of academic support centers. So a really good way to get to know their students, both from a social as well as an academic standpoint. We have 11 different cultural and resource centers. With the clubs and organizations, we're very civic-minded, a lot in the way of community service, student government, sustainability initiatives, really trying to make things better for future generations to come. We are a Division I school for athletics as part of the Big Sky Conference for everything except softball, which is in the Pacific Coast Conference. Unfortunately, football was scrapped for this fall. Had we played, we would have started off 1-0 because I know we were going to beat the University of Arizona. Molly may disagree with me. She can express her feelings about that a little bit later. The motto of Portland State is let knowledge serve the city. So we really thrive on being part of the community as a whole. In order to graduate from Portland State, every one of our graduates must do either an internship or a community-based project, although many will do both. We truly believe in the hands-on learning here at Portland State. You'll see some of our top local employers. For PSU grads, Intel is the state's largest private employer, more than 10,000 people working there right outside the city limits, and more than 1,000 are PSU alums. Academically, we have about 200 programs that you can choose from, and they're housed under these different schools and colleges. Some of the bigger majors are going to be in business and engineering, followed by the health sciences, psychology, and graphic design. We do not require that you declare a major coming in. That only has to be done by the end of your sophomore year. Even if you're still unsure of what you want to study, you are required to declare an advising pathway. We have 7 of these where we group similar majors together. So again, even if you're not sure what you want to do, you have an assigned academic advisor, and they will help you with major selection if necessary, course planning, and career planning. So they are with you throughout your 4 years. The only time you will have to switch academic advisors is if you are switching pathways. I would be remiss if I did not mention that our University Honors College, it's the only urban-focused honors college in the country. Requirements to get into PSU, pretty straightforward. We are looking for a 3.0 cumulative unweighted GPA. That is grades 9 through 12. Average for us is about a 3.4. And then you can see all of our subject requirements, which need to be met with a C- or better. We are a test optional university. The application process, pretty simple. There is the PSU undergraduate application on our website. It takes about 20 minutes to complete. There is a $50 application fee, although we do have a fee deferral you can use instead. And then we need your official high school transcripts. We operate on a rolling admissions basis, which means there are no formal application deadlines. That said, we still encourage you to apply sometime in the fall. Cost of attendance, we do try to break it down for California residents. Standard out-of-state tuition is going to be just under $30,000 per year. We are part of WUI, the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program, so that is going to be just over $14,000. The one price point here I would differentiate from a little bit, housing and meals, it's actually closer to between $10,000 and $11,000 per year if you are living on campus. So total estimated cost without any scholarships is going to be about $45,000 per year. With WUI, it is going to be about $30,000 per year. Now, how do I, aka all of you, qualify for WUI? It is one of 3 things. You need to have either a 3.0 cumulative unweighted GPA, 1270 on the SAT, or a 27 composite on the ACT. If you have one of these, you will have WUI for all 4 years, no questions asked. You must, though, apply for admission by June 15th and submit your final high school transcripts by August 1st, whether that be to meet the eligibility requirements for the first time or simply to show that you are maintaining the eligibility requirements. If you do not qualify for WUI, we have the out-of-state opportunity scholarship. Minimum GPA on this is a 2.5. It is good for up to $10,000 per year. Unfortunately, students cannot receive both. It is going to be either or, depending on the criteria that you meet. We, of course, encourage you to apply for other scholarships to the university, financial aid as well. And then if you have questions after this evening, feel free to reach out to me, whether it be through email, phone calls. I do both phone and Zoom appointments, so I'd be more than happy to help out with anything that you need going forward. And I realize I am actually just under my 6 minutes here, so I will turn it back to Annabelle. Thank you all very much.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter. There you go. Our next presenter is the University of Arizona.
Hi, everyone. My name is Molly Ingram, and I am your Regional Admissions Counselor for the University of Arizona, Arizona's oldest university and Arizona's only Best Buy university. So we're considered to provide a very good quality education for the cost. As you can see, we're located in Tucson, which is less than 2 hours away from San Jose by plane. I'm originally from Sacramento, and I always joke that it takes me less time to get from the Bay Area to Tucson by plane than it does to drive home to see my family. So very conveniently located, and perhaps that's why we do have about 5,000 students of our 35,000 undergraduates who are from the state of California. So we get more students from California than any other state besides Arizona. And many students come to the University of Arizona for over 100 different undergraduate majors, but I'll highlight a few key programs that we have. Architecture, engineering, which we have 15 different kinds of, nursing, business, and the College of Fine Arts are programs that really attract students to the University of Arizona. You can also see at the bottom that we do have an honors college, and honors is not tied to any one particular major, so you really can study anything at the honors level. We really do encourage our students to get involved in research, and that's probably why we're the only member of the AAU in the state of Arizona. If you're not familiar with the AAU, this is an invitation-only organization comprised of 65 member universities. You've definitely heard of some of them like UCLA, Berkeley, Stanford, and the University of Arizona is also a member, indicating that we have a very high level of research activity. So here's that wonderful honors college that I was telling you about. We recently built a brand new center on campus, the Honors Village. This building is only a year old, and it serves as both a dorm, apartments, and there are seminar rooms in here for our honors students. We take about 1,000 honors students a year, so if you're interested in that, definitely fill out your application to the university early so you can get started on that honors college application. Now, speaking of research, in the interest of time, I'm just going to highlight a few key STEM research opportunities that we have going on at the University of Arizona. So for instance, our partnership with NASA, we do have the UA/NASA Space Grant Internship Program for our undergraduate students, and we're leading the first NASA mission on the new collecting samples from a near-Earth asteroid. We also create mirrors for the Giant Magellan Telescope on our campus in our mirror lab, and we do have the largest institute for optics education in the country. This is just a very small example of all the wonderful research opportunities that we have for our students. And in terms of other fun activities, there are more things to do at Arizona than you will have time to do in a waking day. If you're interested in joining a fraternity or sorority, or maybe you want to go to one of our Pac-12 Division I sporting events where we take on Berkeley or USC or any of those other wonderful Pac-12 schools, that's definitely something that Arizona can offer for you. We have clubs that are related to pretty much any academic, cultural, political, religious, pop culture interest that you can think of. And one of my favorite things is the fact that our student government does put on the nation's largest student-run carnival, Spring Fling, which we've been doing for over 40 years, and it has become a wonderful Tucson tradition. We are a very student-centric university focused on making sure that our students are successful academically, mentally, as well as physically. And one program I'd like to highlight is the SALT Center, which is one of the best programs in the country for students with learning and attention differences. This program provides students, if you have an IEP or a 504, with an extra level of individualized academic support. If you're getting ready to graduate and you want to make sure that your resume is up to date, or maybe you haven't even written a resume, our Life Lab is the place to be. They will definitely help prepare you to make sure that you'll be successful beyond your 4 years at Arizona. And in terms of our application process, seniors, if you are out there listening, our application is open right now. We are rolling admissions like Portland State, so you could apply tonight, tomorrow, anytime during our application period, but the sooner you apply, the better, because 9 out of 10 of our students receive some form of financial aid, and if you're an admitted student, you will have access to our scholarship database called Scholarship Universe, where you can search for other scholarship opportunities. But the easiest scholarship for you to apply for is the Arizona Tuition Award, which is the chart that you see on this slide. All you have to do to get that scholarship is apply to the University of Arizona, be admitted, and fall somewhere on that chart, which is based on your unweighted 6-semester core GPA. We do not require test scores for anything. The Honors College is completely test blind, and we do not require letters of recommendation unless you're applying to the Honors College. Our main campus application is essay optional, and our Honors College application does require that essay. Once you turn in your application to the University of Arizona, you'll receive an admissions decision in 2 to 4 weeks. So if you apply tonight, you'll know probably around Halloween whether you're going to be a Wildcat or not. And then the priority deadline for our Honors College application is in about a month. This is non-binding, so do not worry about if you're not sure that you want to attend Arizona. Thank you so much. Feel free to contact me if you have questions, and go Wildcats.
Thank you. Our next presenter is the University of Utah.
Good evening, Jasmine Bryan from the University of Utah. We are a public flagship Tier 1 research university located in beautiful Salt Lake City. If you haven't heard the term Tier 1, it means that we have the highest level of research on our campus. Across the United States, there are only 130 colleges with Tier 1 status, and in California, it's our UCs that are Tier 1. We have about 24,000 undergraduate students, and our average class size is 23, so you'll get to know your professors well. And like the University of Arizona, we're also proud to be a member of the Association of American Universities. Our location is amazing. We are within 45 minutes of 7 world-class ski resorts. We hosted the Olympics in Salt Lake. We're also a half-day's drive from 5 national monuments and just 10 minutes from downtown Salt Lake City, where students can watch a jazz game, grab dinner, or work an internship. Salt Lake City has been voted one of the top 10 pro-business cities in the U.S., so many of our students will have an internship, catch the light rail for free, and within 10 minutes be back on our beautiful campus. We offer over 150 different majors and programs. We have our own medical school, law school, school of engineering, film, theater, architecture, direct entry nursing, and so much more. Fortunately, I can't tell you about them all. I'm going to highlight just a few. The David Eccles School of Business offers 9 undergraduate majors. Not sure which one's right for you? No problem. Start with Business Scholars. Business Scholars allows you to try all the areas of business before selecting the one on which you'd like to focus. We also have a student investment fund where students manage a $700,000 portfolio and gain invaluable experience. If you're interested in gaming, the U should be on your list. Our gaming major has been ranked #1 by Princeton Review, and our students have published over 99 games so far. Cutting Edge Research is the name of the game in our engineering department. We have 26 research centers at the U, and our Freshman Engineering Scholars Program allows first-year students to tour the research facilities in the fall and experience weekly instruction in an engineering research lab in the spring. The Milken Institute ranked the U #1 in the transfer of technology to commercialization. Our competition, Stanford, Caltech, MIT. Why did we do so well? We're all about putting innovation into action, as can be seen in the picture. It's actually called the Luke arm, named after Luke Skywalker. It's a prosthetic arm that was developed at the U, and it can not only move, but feel. So, Lassonde. Lassonde is all about creating your own company. We've launched 35 companies in the past 2 years. At Lassonde, you'll find a 20,000 square foot innovation space. We hold monthly Get Seated programs that let students learn how to pitch their idea for funding. One Lassonde startup, Boundary Backpacks, raised over $1 million to launch their company. Students can also live in Lassonde in learning living spaces. Now, while everyone might not want to start their own company, many students are interested in having an internship. Hinckley allows our students from all majors to have local, national, and global opportunities. Something you might not realize, Salt Lake City is the capital of Utah, so our state legislature meets just 10 minutes from campus, and students can have a paid internship with the legislature and gain invaluable experiences. With Capital Encounters, students can have a paid internship in Washington, D.C. that includes a subsidy for housing. And yes, we have study abroad. We're affiliated with over 600 different programs, but we also allow students to intern abroad. We've had students intern in over 50 different countries and regularly have interns in Australia and Jordan. Not sure about your major? No problem. We offer a major exploration class that starts with a self-assessment and then allows you to learn about all the majors offered at the U. With LEAP, students take a class in the fall and spring with the same group of students and the same professor, building a nice community. And with LEAP Global, you can take classes in the spring at our campus in South Korea. Our Student Life Center includes one of the largest adventure programs in the country. Students can rent any equipment they need for their next adventure or sign up for a guided rafting, backpacking, or climbing trip. And yes, we do rent all the ski, snowboarding equipment, and we sell the lift tickets, and there's a bus that goes right from campus on up to the slopes. The U is a member of the Pac-12. Our Must or Mighty Utah Student section has a tradition called the third down jump. When our opponents are going for a third down, we want to distract them, so we jump in unison. It creates a seismic event, which has been picked up by engineering a mile away. So in terms of admission, we are a Common App school and we utilize holistic review, giving primary importance to the rigor of your coursework and your grades in those classes. We will be test optional this year, so whether you submit SAT or ACT scores, it's completely up to you. We are very proud to be part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange, allows students to receive a discount on the out-of-state tuition. WUI students pay 1.5 times the in-state tuition, saving over $16,000 a year. It's guaranteed for all students from the WUI state submitted with a 3.0 and above. In-state tuition's about $9,000, out-of-state's about $30,000. That lovely discount, the WUI scholarship's about $14,000 a year. It is also possible to establish residency. Excuse me. Thank you for listening. I am a regional admission counselor for the University of Utah. I am based in the Bay Area all year round, and I welcome your questions.
Thank you so much. Our next presenter is The Ohio State University. And before here from The Ohio State University, I just want to remind everyone that you can drop your question in the Q&A and address them to the specific representative if you have a specific question for that institution, or keep it general for any panelist. Without further ado, The Ohio State University.
Hi everyone, my name is Caitlin James. I'm the Regional Recruitment Manager for The Ohio State University based in Columbus, Ohio. I'm actually a Regional Recruitment Manager, so I'm based in California and I cover all of the West Coast. So a little bit about Ohio State. We are the flagship and the land-grant institution, meaning we combine the research opportunities with the UCs with the access and affordability of the CSUs. And that's what we do for the state of Ohio. You can see some of our statistics up on the screen here, and we are the third largest public institution in the country. Size is one of the things that we are proud of, but we can still make the university experience a little bit smaller for you, even with all of the robust amount of opportunities that we have at Ohio State. So you can tell that we are an academic powerhouse through all of the rankings of our various programs, over 200 different majors available to our students, 500 specializations. I'm constantly learning about some of the new things that we offer. A couple of our programs, the fact that we have we're a land grant, sea grant, and space grant institution. We have a law school, a vet school, a med school, dentistry, and optometry campus, all on our campus that you can take advantage of as well. So when you're thinking about academics, definitely don't rule out Ohio State. We consider ourselves a leader in experiential learning, making sure that students are taking what they learn in the classroom and applying it, what they use, no matter where you may go. One of the things that we offer for our students too is that every student is set up with what's called with an iPad as part of our digital flagship program. We've partnered with Apple to make sure that you are set up for success in a tech-driven world. So you'll come in with an Apple, an iPad, pencil, keyboard, case, all those kinds of things. And especially given our hybrid environment now for a lot of our our students, it's a really great way to make sure that you're set up for success. With study abroad opportunities, because of our size, we are the institution that a lot of other small schools depend on and partner with because of the opportunities that our programs offer for our students. You can go on over 150 programs on 50 countries on all 7 continents. If you want to do biological research and pull core samples out of the South Pole, you can do that. Some of our samples have Earth that is over 600,000 years old as part of the Bird Center. So it's a really great thing for our students to take advantage of. We have nationally ranked first-year experience programs, and we pair every student with a peer leader to make sure you easily transition into that first year at Ohio State. The other thing that we offer a couple of smaller programs, again, to make that campus experience a little bit smaller for you. Our Moral Scholarship Program is something where we support our students who are passionate about diversity-based leadership, social justice, and service with a full ride tuition scholarship potentially. We have our Honors and Scholars Program if you're wanting to elevate your experience and again, make the campus feel a little bit smaller for you as well. And then learning communities. We do require our students to live on campus for 2 years, and coming from California, you'd kind of want to do so anyway. Again, it makes that campus environment feel a little bit smaller. And so you're able to kind of find your community and meet so many others that might have similar classes from you, similar interests, and learn from others that have different perspectives than you as well. Now, one of my favorite things to talk about among all of the really wonderful academic opportunities and social is certainly the city of Columbus. You might be thinking, Ohio, where the heck even is that? Well, we're in the heart of the Midwest. It's a really friendly, welcoming place to be. It's the 14th largest city in the country, so it's still a manageable size, but you get that traditional campus feel with an urban environment. So there's 109 different languages spoken, so many different neighborhoods for our students to take advantage of. And it's a really welcoming place too. We have one of the top 10 largest pride parades within in the city as well. The Short North Arts District is home to Jenny's Ice Cream if you're a huge ice cream fan, and all kinds of boutiques, local shops, and things like that. We've actually been ranked #1 as one of the best places to start a new company. So we are one of the best places for our students to go to get those internships and take advantage of everything that we have to offer. We're also the capital of Columbus too. Ohio is known as a swing state. So it's definitely something, if you are politically minded and that's something that you're passionate about, definitely want to take advantage of too. Plenty of green space, hiking and biking trails, and all those kinds of great things. Now, getting into the nitty gritty, we are a Common App school, so you can certainly apply through that. We'll only need your high school transcript and then your senior year course schedule. Your test scores are optional for seniors applying this year. If you're juniors and below, we're still making a decision on you, so more to come on that. And letters of recommendation are optional. We have a holistic review process, and newly announced this year, for any student applying to our business and our pre-engineering programs, you're directly admitted into those programs. So super excited about those updates. For our deadlines, our early action deadline is November 15th. So we want to make sure that students have plenty of time to apply. You are automatically considered for merit-based scholarships as long as you apply by that early action deadline, with a National Buckeye Award of up to $13,500 per year, upon many other scholarship opportunities, including our local alumni club that has opportunities available to you. Now, some students were asking about the fact that how will that impact, how will last year impact next year? It won't impact you as a student at all. And just remember that just because we're test optional, it means that you're also considered for scholarships, any of the majors and honors and scholars and those kinds of programs within Ohio State too. A couple last things to just wrap up. Take a virtual visit with our website. Definitely recommend checking that out. I look forward to hopefully meeting with you, and please send me an email if you wanted to connect further. Otherwise, thanks so much for being here. Hope you all are staying safe and look forward to connecting with you as well.
Great. Thank you so much. And at this time, I just want to open it up again for any questions to the panelists that you may have. Drop those questions into the Q&A. We'll leave a couple minutes for some questions. And while the representatives are answering some of the questions that are coming in. I'll actually ask a question to the panelists. What would be your favorite tradition about your institution? You can have about 45 seconds to kind of share some of those or one of your favorite tradition or unique traditions at your institution. So we can start in the order that we presented.
Great, thank you. My favorite tradition that USD has would definitely be the candle lighting ceremony every holiday season. It kind of just culminates the semester year just before finals, and the whole community comes out for it. It happens on the quad in front of the Immaculata. It's just a really beautiful ceremony and really shows the unity of campus. Thank you.
I have to say, because we're located in Boston, it has to be sports related. I mean, it has to be. So definitely looking at the hockey season being the biggest one of them all. We do play in something called the Beam Pot, which if you aren't familiar, includes schools like Boston University, Boston College, and Harvard. And when the four schools, in us, of course, and when the schools come together, it's really booming. It brings out hockey fans that you didn't even know were on campus. Everyone kind of comes out of the woodwork and joins together, and the community has never been more, I think, enthusiastic. I think that really just shows how much sports really bring out everyone. We have won the last few years, so we're big braggers out here. I think we'll talk about that for a while now, and just hoping to get back on the rink as soon as possible.
I would say at Portland State, it's not a PSU tradition so much, but Portlanders and Oregonians, we love our food. There are more than 700 food carts in the city. It's the largest amount per capita for any city our size in the country. On campus, there are about 30. There's an entire block of them situated right across from our engineering building. So you find food, whether it be Lebanese, Thai, Indian, Chinese, it just goes on and on. And honestly, in my opinion, you find better food there. It's more cost effective than some of the more established restaurants across the city of Portland.
Well, Dave kind of took my answer because I was going to talk about all the wonderful food in Tucson. We are a UNESCO designated official city of gastronomy for the nation's best 23 miles of Mexican food. Downtown Tucson is a really fun place to be. It's super close to campus, and we do have a lot of really great local, sustainably sourced shops, boutiques, restaurants. If you can see my earrings, these are from downtown Tucson. And Tucson Meet Yourself is our multicultural festival that we have every single year. So there's always something to do in Tucson and on campus, and we really do combine the fun with the hands-on experience our students can get from leading a lot of our events.
So I actually mentioned my favorite tradition during my session, so I kind of let the cat out of the bag already, but it was the third down jump. I think it's really one of the reasons why the U has been ranked by ESPN as one of the top 5 in the nation for noise and spirit, because it's just like thunder. When the opponents are going for third down, we're jumping in unison, and that it creates a seismic event. So that's got to be my favorite.
And surprisingly, Ohio State did not mention football during my entire presentation, but I am now. So my favorite is Stadium Ohio. We love to spell the word Ohio, not like it's hard, but we love to do that. And so one of my favorites is hearing OHIO spread all around the stadium, going around and around. It creates a booming effect. When I went to the Fiesta Bowl in December, it was unlike anything I'd ever heard. So definitely Stadium Ohio.
Those are awesome, wonderful, just so wonderful to hear. And I know the attendees are very excited to just learn more about those rich traditions that have carried on throughout for years and so forth. So if there's any last minute questions, please feel free to drop those in the Q&A. Again, the representatives are here to answer your questions. And as you wrap up answering some of those last minute questions, items with everyone. As we close this window or this session, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. And also, this was just one of the many sessions being hosted, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. And in about a week, you'll be able to find the sessions recordings as well as any other sessions recordings that you've attended at the same website where you registered. Again, I would like to thank our panelists for your time. Thank you for attending the session, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you visiting any of the schools or seeing you in any other sessions.